Well, hello, my name is Jim Royal. I am a huge Beatles and Elvis Presley fan and basically classic rock in general. So if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. At the end of the video, if you could do a thumbs up, that's always most appreciated. And feel free to leave comments. I always enjoy reading them and I do my very best to try to respond in a timely manner. Today what I wanted to do is I wanted to talk about one of those long out-of-print Beatle albums. This is a collection, it's a compilation of previously released material, so there's nothing new here. But I think that it's a nice find, and these days it's a little more rare than what it was before. I'm talking about the Beatles album Real Music, and that's spelled R-E-E-L as in film movie reel. This was an album that was originally released back on March 22nd, 1982, here in the United States on the Capitol label, and then the following day it was released on the Parlophone label in the UK. It is basically songs that are in 5 of their films. What they thought was a nice collection from 5 of their films. So their films, I'm talking about A Hard Day's Night, that was released in 1964, Help in 1965, Magical Mystery Tour, the television special in 1967, the cartoon Yellow Submarine in 1968, and then finally Let It Be from 1970. All right. This particular album peaked on the Billboard charts here in the United States at number 19, and it also did the same in Canada. In the UK, though, it didn't fare as well. It got up to number 56. It was later certified gold in the United States for selling over 500,000 copies, and it was also certified gold in Canada for selling over 50,000 copies. And what's cool is near this time, the Beatles' Hard Day's Night film had basically been cleaned up and re-edited with the stereo Dolby sound, and it was being re-released to theaters at this time. So it was kind of a nice little way to promote that too. There are limited edition gold vinyl pressings in the US and Canada of this. I recommend you try to seek those out. And then in New Zealand, it was released on the Parlophone label with the sleeve and inner booklet imported from the US. This clocks in a little over 42 minutes in length. And let me read you what the songs are. Okay, so you have A Hard Day's Night, I Should Have Known Better, Can't Buy Me Love, And I Love Her, Help, You've Got to Hide Your Love Away, Ticket to Ride, Magical Mystery Tour, I Am the Walrus, Yellow Submarine, All You Need Is Love, Let It Be, Get Back, and then The Long and Winding Road. So let me show you the vinyl. First of all, the cover illustrations, the paintings are done by David McMahon. David McMahon. And this is a nice little collection, and it's almost like the Beatles are going to a premiere for a movie, and you have different phases of the Beatles from the different films. You can see them getting out of the car from their Magical Mystery Tour era. Really nice. Okay, so that's that. Show you the vinyl. And this is the Capitol pressing, by the way. And then the back side. Okay. The inner sleeve. And I like this. This is the film strips of each Beatle here from different phases. Pretty cool. Look at that. And it also came with a souvenir program book, like you might get maybe at a premiere of a movie. Pretty cool. Look at that. And then these are some of the movie promo posters at the times of the release for the different films. right, so going to show you. So what it does is it shows pictures and talks about the different films in here, this one being A Hard Day's Night. And you got up there in the upper corner, you got Ringo and Patty Harrison. She was in A Hard Day's Night. That's where she met George. And then later they married. Okay, here's Help. Here's Magical Mystery Tour. Yellow Submarine. And then finally, I love their cameo here at the end, their appearance at the end of the film, because it was a cartoon. And finally, You Gotta Let It Be. Here's the cassette. When I was getting into the Beatles, when I started collecting them, I was later purchasing the cassettes. I had a few vinyl at the time. My family had some, but I really got into them. I was getting the cassettes in the early 80s. So that's the cassette there. And then this cassette, though, I passed on this at the time, but I ended up picking up here a couple years ago. And the reason why I passed at the time is I just thought, well, I already have all these songs. You know, why should I get this too? I love that white tape. That's so cool. All right, so let's talk about more about the album and some of the rarities that are involved here. The album features the first U.S. release of the British stereo mix of I Am the Walrus. Previous American releases of the song had the introduction edited, like the mono mix. There had been an edit of the British version appearing on the Rarities album, though, 2 years prior. You have the songs A Hard Day's Night and Ticket to Ride officially seeing the American debut here in true stereo. Also, there's a unique stereo edit that's exclusive to the Capitol pressing of this for I Should Have Known Better. It's with the harmonica error and the introduction fixed. And that's pretty cool. So you can't find that anywhere else but this particular Capitol version of this album. So I think that was kind of neat too. I had no idea about that. So what the Beatles, what Capitol and EMI did at the time to help promote this too, is they put out a single. And the single is the Beatles movie medley. So basically it's the front cover of the album. And what it was the collection. You had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of the Beatles songs that were on the record, and they edited them together to form like a complete single track. And it clocks in a little over 4 minutes. So you have the songs Magical Mystery Tour, All You Need Is Love, You've Got to Hide Your Love Away, I Should Have Known Better, A Hard Day's Night, Ticket to Ride, and then Get Back. And then the B-side was I'm Happy Just to Dance With You, featuring George on lead vocals. Okay, and then the vinyl, the little 45, I'll get that. And then there's that. Okay, what's interesting about this is this Beatles movie medley It originally it got up to in the U.S. it got up to on the Billboard charts. It got up to number 12, and then it got on number 10 on the UK charts. Not bad, right? What I thought was interesting is it got its inspiration from something called Stars on 45, which was a single that was released prior to that, a year or so before, and it consisted of having some Beatles songs. This wasn't with the label at all, it was someone else, and it had other songs other than the Beatles on it, a medley like that. So they got their inspiration from doing that, and it helped promote the real music. The only thing I will tell you is this movie medley is not found anywhere on here, okay? And in fact, this particular 45 remains the only one of the Beatles singles that's not on CD or any downloads of any kind. So that's a rarity in itself. And in fact, I wanted to tell you that from what I've read, the early promo copies, the promo copies out there had a different B-side. It didn't have I'm Happy Just to Dance With You. It had something called Fab Four on Film. And that was basically an interview that was done with the Beatles at the time of the making of A Hard Day's Night. Well, Capitol and EMI, they could not get permission. They could not obtain permission to release it, so they had to put the other song on there instead. Now, originally when the Beatles movie medley came out, when the single came out, EMI refused to release it Parlophone. They just thought it was kind of tacky, is what I read. However, there was a lot of demand for the U.S. import. So finally, in May, 2 months later, they released it, and it got really big. All right, so in closing here, I wanted to say that the reason I wanted to talk about this is because I think that it's a rare find, though it's something that's very reasonable to find. You know, it's an album that's been out of print here for over 30 years. It also is a very unique package, and I think that it was done very well. I've been on eBay and I've been on other sites, and you can get this from anywhere from $20, $30 to $35. So it's very obtainable. And I think it's a nice collection. So I wanted to thank you for watching my video. And here in the States, we're celebrating Memorial Day here on Monday, so this is Memorial Day weekend. So I hope life is treating you well, and you take care. Thank you. Bye.